Hi everyone, it's David from Automotive Press. Guess what? My 2024 Toyota Land Cruiser is going through its very first car wash. Why is it the first one? Well, it's only been a few weeks since I've owned this vehicle, and it went through a major paint correction, then ceramic coating, process that was done by Unique Detailing in Vancouver, and therefore it didn't need any wash. It stays pretty clean because of the coating, which is graphene coated actually. But now it's gotten pretty dirty. It's gone onto a highway, some mud road, and some heavy rain. It's pretty dirty, so I'm going to just show you exactly what I do to wash my cars, which could be different from what you do, but my process is pretty straightforward. I'm going to walk you through all the steps. First and foremost, let's just wash off all of the major simple dirt on the vehicle using a simple hand tools. Now I'm going to do that so the car is thoroughly wet. And then I'm going to use a 3-bucket system, which I have it right here lined up. 3-bucket system, and most people won't do 3-bucket, they'll do 2-bucket system. One to rinse off anything that's dirty, and one for clean soap and clean a sponge. But I have a 3rd bucket because one is for clean soap and clean washcloth, one for the dirty cloth and also dirty sponge, which I use to rinse off. And then the 3rd one is to clean the wheels and tires. So that's even dirtier than other parts of the vehicle. And also when it comes to actual washing of the vehicle, I separate the fabric or the washcloth for upper body and then the lower body, because lower body is usually dirtier. So I don't use the same cloth to wash the upper part compared to the lower part. So let me just go through that quickly, and I'll continue to walk you through what to do in terms of washing your car properly. So let's rinse off the car from top to bottom, and I'll start washing the upper part first, starting with the roof, working downwards, rinsing off as often as possible so you don't get the actual soap to dry up. And then I'm gonna work toward the lower part of the vehicle, then finally wheels and tires. So let me walk you through. Now you'll notice, because this car has been properly paint corrected and it has a ceramic coating, which is actually graphene coating, even with it being so dirty, if I just rinse it off with the water, a lot of the dirt just comes right off. And that's one advantage of having a proper ceramic coating, because the paint is chemically bonded with the coating and then nothing really sticks with it. It's almost like one of those non-stick frying pan, and you can tell it's already getting pretty clean, and I haven't even washed the car yet. So let me continue to rinse off the rest of the car. I'm still shocked at how good the ceramic coating is, because they also apply the ceramic coating on all these plastic trims. So you can see the hydrophobic quality right now. And like I said, a quick rinse and the car actually looks almost ready. But I'm still gonna do a proper wash and dry as well. I'm using just a very simple car wash. It doesn't really matter what you use. I'm just using ceramic wash and wax from Hybrid Solutions, which I believe is part of a Turtle Wax line. You can use pretty well anything. Just don't use something with a harsh chemical, and definitely don't use like a soap that you use at home or dishwasher soap. That will then take all the waxes off. So make sure that you do use a wash and wax, unless you have a matte paint, which requires a different kind of washing solutions altogether. So now that I've rinsed off quickly, I'll continue to rinse off a little bit just before I apply the actual washing, and I'm gonna use a clean cloth with soapy solutions, and then wash from top to bottom and try to rinse off as much as I can at the same time. So I've got a really big, huge fabric here, soft microfiber. I've color coded it, so blue is for the general cleaning, then the black sponge I have is for lower paint and lower body, and then also I have a complete different tools for wheels and tires. Let's start with the top. Keep in mind that I try not to press it too hard in case there is some debris left. If you try to really wash it hard, that debris can scratch the paint. So I keep it very light, not too much pressure, but try to wash it as quickly as possible so I don't dry the actual soapy solution, which is always a bit tricky on a sunny day like this. But I've just kind of covered up the top roof. I washed the front windshield the same way, the back windshield over to the other side. But because this car is so tall, it's always a bit of a challenge to try to get to the top of the car. So now that this is a little bit dirty, I'm gonna rinse it in the kind of dirty bucket here, rinse off some of the major debris, then back into clean bucket, and then rinse off this part, because half of the top part of the car is done. The idea here is not to let the soap dry up. Okay, now over to the other side. I gotta swing over and bring the chair over to the other side as well. Just be careful if you're using a chair or something like that. Don't scratch the paint, obviously. This car is so high that normal stools doesn't work. I gotta use a taller thing. You obviously don't want to use a ladder or something. But yeah, it requires a little bit more than a small stool to reach the top of the car. So I'll wet it one more time and wash this side of the roof. Again, I'm using a really big cloth just because it's more efficient. You don't need to do that. You can just use a normal sponge as well. A bit of a challenge trying to wash this special first edition roof rack because it's so hard to get to it, and especially the roof that's underneath, almost impossible to get to it without using some kind of special tool. So that will be one of the disadvantages of having so much stuff attached to the roof of the car. So once again, before I dirty this thing anymore, the big towel gets rinsed in the dirty water and then back into clean bucket. Okay, so now I washed the hood, the side of the vehicle, again using the clean cloth, making sure that the towel doesn't have any kind of debris or stones or anything stuck to it. And then also rinse off as much as you can throughout. Wash, rinse, not wash everything, then rinse. Just rinse as you go along so you don't get the soap to dry up. I have the hose on the other side, so let me wash the left and the right side and also the hood. The back is already clean, and then I'll go to the lower part of the vehicle using a different set of towels, and then finally wheels and tires. Actually, I'll do the hood next. I am just really glad that I have ceramic coated this vehicle because it makes washing so easy. There's not a whole lot I have to do to keep it clean, at least not for the first year or so. Then you have to kind of get a reapplication or refreshing of the ceramic coat, and then you're good to go again for another year. And Unique Detailing in Vancouver does such a great job. I just don't go anywhere else anymore. They apply a nice thick coating over the entire vehicle. So I finished the hood now. Let me rinse this one more time. This is still clean bucket actually, but this will take some of the debris off. Back into the main bucket, let it soak really well. Then I washed both sides. Like I said, rinse as much as possible. Wash, rinse, and do one more final rinse before you dry the vehicle. You can already see how much of a hydrophobic property there is on this ceramic coated paint. The water just literally falls off. It's crazy. It's just so effective. I don't use PPF, even though that's probably ultimately the best protection, just because PPF can change the property of the paint when it's adhered to the paint over a longer time. And they only last between 4 to 6 years anyway, so at some point they begin to peel and or affect the paint, and I don't really want that. So I like the bare paint the way it is. I just like to protect it with ceramic coating, for me, which includes graphene coating, because that one is actually a little bit longer lasting from my perspective as opposed to traditional ceramic coating. And then at some point, if I still want to get a PPF, then I can do that. But honestly, if you take care of it, you don't need it. Maybe you apply the PPF just to the front section so that rocks and stuff don't chip it. Although if you're going off-roading, like a serious off-roading, yeah, you definitely want to protect it with a PPF. You're going to end up with a whole bunch of pinstripes, which is what we described when the trees and branches scratch along the vehicle on the left and right. You don't want to do that. In that case, you might want to wrap it or put PPF on the vehicle. Like I said, I will separate the actual bucket from upper body, from about here. And the lower body, I'm going to use a different sponge. But my car is actually pretty clean now, so I'm not too worried about that right now. But I will just demonstrate for you what I mean by that. Upper part and then the lower part. So upper part, I'm going to use this big towel again, just because it can contain so much soap. Just makes it a little bit easier. So upper body first. I won't go below like my belt line, keeping it above the belt line. I already washed the windows, so I'll skip through that. Up to about here. Just wash this part one more time. Okay, so I rinsed this again in supposedly the dirty bucket, which isn't all that dirty anyway. Back into the big clean bucket. Lots of soap. Oh, and of course, I'm gonna just rinse off what I've done so far. Now over to the other side. Okay, now that I've done the upper part of the body, and I'm gonna switch to a different sponge. So I'm using a darker sponge. It's easier to remember the darker sponge is for the lower part of the vehicle. So this will be used for part of the vehicle below my belt, typically, but not wheels and tires. I have a different set of a tool for that. So to keep the dirtiest part of the vehicle, which is the wheels and tires, separate from the other sponges. This is for the main body, upper body, I should say, lower body, and then separate tool for wheels and tires. So now that I'm gonna use this lower body sponge, but I don't really want to scratch the paint, so I'm gonna actually refill and reapply the soap and then come up with a fresh soap again. So a little bit more new soap and fresh water. You don't need a lot, like I said. My car doesn't even need a soap. So this is for the lower body. I'm gonna just focus on the body first before the sponge gets too dirty. Just focus on the metal portion first, not the plastic portion. On both sides, rinse, rinse, rinse like crazy. And then I'll do the bottom, the black lower molding there. Over to the other side now. Okay, I'm gonna rinse off and actually dip this in clean soapy water and then finish off the lower black moldings. Okay, so I'm gonna rinse one more time, then finally clean the wheels and tires and maybe the mud guards. I would consider that to be as dirty as the wheels and tires, so I'm gonna use a different tool, which is these ones. This is both for wheels and tires, so it doesn't matter which kind you use, that's up to you. I have a couple of different ones because sometimes based on the shape of the wheels or tires, one is easier than the others. So the final step is the wheels and tires, as I mentioned. I have a different bucket for that and different tools, both soaked in clean, freshly soaped water. And let's see which one works better. I got two different tools. So usually I clean the wheels first and then the tires, but it doesn't really matter too much. You might decide to apply tire wax later on, but that's after the vehicle has been dried. And I don't bother using two bucket system for wheels and tires. That might be a little bit overkill. So just using one bucket, making sure that I rinse off some of the really dirty part of the brush with fresh water. And then continue to wash and rinse the wheels and tires. I'll use this tool this time to see if there's any difference. I think the other one is actually easier to use, but like I said, it doesn't matter too much. Well, I'm gonna switch back to this one, it's easier. Of course, the less spoke you have, the easier it is to clean. Some of the wheels with the really nice spokes are beautiful, but they're a nightmare to clean. I'm gonna rinse off first and then the other side. I also like to rinse off the inside of the wheel wells. You don't need to wash it obviously, but I just like to get some of the debris and dirt off. Completely safe to wash it from underneath. Okay, last wheel and tire and we're pretty well done. Let me rinse off now. Just a little bit left here, didn't clean properly, so I use a different brush here to clean the tire, which is sometimes tricky. Oh, it's hot. I need to cool down. Oh, nice.
And then finally, to finish everything off, I use a leaf blower to dry out as much as possible. This one has the least impact on the paint. And then finish off with a clean, dry microfiber cloth to take all of the water spots away so that we don't end up with any water left on the paint job.
So here's the final result. The car is all clean top to bottom. The wheels and tires are clean too. And even clean the inside of the wheel wells. So that's all pretty clean. And I didn't apply any kind of tire dressing, and I didn't apply any waxes because I don't need that since I have a graphene coating or ceramic coating, and the tires are just fine the way they are. So it looks pretty gorgeous. And I would always say that to wash it as soon as you have some kind of bird poop or some other stuff that can contaminate the paint. Otherwise, if your car is ceramic coated, you don't have to wash so often. Every couple of weeks would do. But if you don't have a ceramic coating, I would wash it maybe every week and a half or so, and maybe less during the winter time. Anyhow, right now Land Cruiser looking really good.